Hey friends, welcome back to Jenny Food and My Kitchen. Today we are making my favorite food group, and that is salads. I'm going to show you how to make a barbecue crunch salad, and I'm telling you, if you're looking for that chef's kiss, beautiful salad that wins you all the friends and influence, this is the salad for you. I've made this for conferences, fundraising events, even small dinner parties, and I'm telling you, every single time it steals the show. Let's make this. I've got all of our ingredients prepped here. We've got bacon, cheddar cheese, carrot, green onions, toasted almonds, cranberries, pepitas, curly kale, some purple cabbage, and some romaine. First up, I'm going to get our bacon going. Now, I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. If I'm cooking just more than a few pieces of bacon, I always do it in the oven. I mean, I can even throw a couple extra pieces in if I need to. But a 400 degree oven, we're going to let this go about 18 to 25 minutes. It really depends on the thickness of your bacon, so we'll get that going. While our bacon is going, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the rest of our salad. Now, I like to start building from the bottom up when it comes to a salad, so I like to do my greens first. And we're going to start with some chopped romaine lettuce, pretty simple. And I like to mix greens. I just find that I'm a textural eater, so I like interesting textures as well as flavors. And so if I have it on hand, or if I'm making something to take, I always try and do at least 1 to 3 different types of greens. I think that's what keeps it interesting, the colors and the different textures of greens. I mean, it might not seem like it makes a difference, but it does. It makes a huge difference. So I'm just gonna do probably 2 heads of romaine, it looks like. I don't think I'm just making this for our family today, so I don't need a lot. I just made this the other day for a large function, and I'm telling you, when we get to the dressing, you're not going to believe it. It's so simple, but yet it's so satisfying and so interesting and wonderful. So yeah, I think we'll stop at 2. That gives us that much lettuce. And then we're gonna come in with some purple cabbage. And I always keep cabbage in my fridge, again, because I like texture in my salads. So even if I'm just putting a little bit of cabbage in my salads, not only is it healthy, but it also gives just that little bit of crunch, and it just gives that little bit of change in your mouth. So I'm gonna probably, let's see, we'll start there and we'll see how much we need. So I'm going to kind of try to do my best to give this almost like a shave. You want to cut it as thin as you can. I always make funny faces when I'm intently cutting. Now you're watching my face. All right, let's sprinkle that on, and then I think that's going to be enough. So you can see that wasn't very much cabbage at all, just a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and kind of mix that around. Depending on how much you like, actually maybe just a tiny bit more. I'll just go off of this, maybe two swipes, couple swipes. That looks like it'll do it. There's nothing wrong with a salad that has just a couple ingredients. I like to make salad for dinner. Oftentimes I'll keep roasted chicken in the refrigerator, and that way I can just whip up kind of even just a 2 to 3 ingredient salad, and then add some chicken to it, add some dressing, and there's dinner. I am perfectly okay with salad for dinner. Now my husband, on the other hand, he is not okay with that. He always asks me to put his meat on the side, which I don't want to put the meat on the side. Anyways, let's get on to our kale. I don't know about you, but when it comes to salads, my husband is so set in his ways about what he likes and he doesn't like. He's a Thousand Island man, and he likes a traditional garden salad. He can go out of the box with a little bit, with maybe a little hard-boiled egg on it. But he is so funny. All right, now my rule of thumb is that I like to do 2 of these pieces of kale for every head of romaine. So we put 2 heads of romaine, so that's 4 pieces. So I'm gonna set these other ones, I probably won't use them. And so 4 of these stems of, and this is just a regular green curly kale. You could use Jacinto kale, you could use purple kale, although, I mean, if you had green cabbage, you could use that and then use the purple kale. But I don't know if you'd want all that purple. We're trying to kind of visually make it interesting as well as texturally and taste, right? Now, you go ahead and take all of that kale off the stems, and then we're just gonna give it a quick chop. Actually, I like to kind of wad my kale. I know this sounds maybe weird, but I like to wad my kale up as tight as I can get it, and then just kind of, go in with a knife. And then I'll just go back, my hand on the top, give it a few chops, and we're good. So there's half of our kale. And then we'll go in with our other half. And I wad it up kind of in a ball, like as tight as I can get it. And then just give it a chop. Now, if you don't like kale, I mean, you could always substitute some other kind of green, or you could just leave it out altogether. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really up to you. I'm just kind of giving you a base recipe that you can add to or build from, or make it exact. All right, you know what? I might need a bigger bowl. My salads always tend to grow on me. All right, that looks good. Alrighty, and see, that is what you want. Look how pretty that looks. I mean, with just the romaine and the kale and the purple cabbage, it gives this dish interest and textural differences. You've got purple cabbage that's a little crunchy, and then you've got kale that's a little bit chewier and dense, and then the nice romaine lettuce. So that's a beautiful start to a salad. Next, I'm gonna go in with our carrot. Now, I've already peeled this, so we're gonna just do this on the grater. And 1 carrot is more than enough. Grated carrot goes a long way in a dish. A lot of times I'll think like I need 2 or 3 carrots when, I mean, you need like half a carrot or 1 carrot. Maybe just a little more. I like the carrot. All right, and then we'll just kind of feather that on top. We're gonna mix this all together before we dress it. That is the perfect amount of carrot for this. And then we'll just go in with our green onions. Now, I like a lot of onion in things. I am an onion lover. So if you're not a real onion lover, I would say maybe 4 to 5 green onions or half a bunch. If you really love onions, you could do a whole bunch of green onions, or you could even add red onion. So some people like to add both. I mean, just more for the texture of the onion and the flavor. But I mean, do it how you like it, because I mean, at the end of the day, it should please you, right? I'm gonna do the whole bunch just because I really love onions. So I'm gonna go in and cut my onions, and hopefully I can get through these onions without crying. I said in my other recent videos, I've been having some real big issues with strong onions. Just been tearing my eyes up, and I'm having to, wipe my eyes to continue. All right, our onions are done. I'm just gonna throw those right on top. Now that is kind of a lot of onion, but I would say half. If you're just looking to kind of do a regular amount, I would do half of that. And lastly, we're gonna do our cheddar cheese. Now, I measured this. I've got about 4 ounces of cheddar cheese. I'm not sure if we'll use all of this, but I don't grate this. What makes this salad kind of special, I don't know what it is about the way that this cheese is cut, but if you cut it into little cubes, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, I don't know, it just really adds something to the salad. The way that the cheese hits your mouth just makes all the difference. So if you were pressed for time, you could always grate it, but it is worth the cube. I mean, it does make a difference. So we'll just cut several strips and then cut it in strips again. 2 more times. And then we'll just go in with all these little cubes of cheese, just like that. And then when the bacon finishes and it's nice and cooled, we'll go ahead and we'll crumble that into our salad. Now, usually I would think about 6 pieces. If you like it bacon heavy, you could add a little more than that. I mean, that's a beautiful thing about salads. You can really switch it up to how you like it. I love a lot of stuff in my salads. I don't give me a pile of lettuce with like 2 things in it. Give me something that's interesting to eat with flavors that go together, and I am a happy girl. In fact, a lot of times if we're going out or if we're at a function, I like to eat my salad last. I don't know, it's weird, I suppose. But I like to finish my meal with the salad just because I usually typically enjoy the salad the most. I might be a minority, but I'm okay with that. All right, we've got our cheese just about done. And already, isn't that looking so cute? I love the salad. Oh my goodness. Now, you could put some chicken on this if you wanted to and make it like an entree salad. I mean, that would totally work if you had rotisserie chicken, or you could just serve it alongside. Either way, it's great with chicken. So now we are going to add a couple of our mix-ins. We're all done with our chopping. So I've got here, this was a 1/4 cup of slivered almonds that I toasted the other day. Actually, this is left over from the big salad I took to an event. So I toasted off a lot of almonds the other day. All right, 1/4 cup. Yeah, I think we'll throw the whole thing in. Again, we want texture and crunch, right? Now, I've also got a 1/4 cup of dried cranberries, and you could use golden raisins. I mean, you could use dried cherries, but I think the cranberries with the dressing kind of pop the best. But again, you can always substitute things. And then lastly, I've got another 1/4 cup of pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds roasted. And of course, all of this adds to that crunch. We've got this layered and textured with crunch and different flavors, and these are salted, so All right, the only thing we're waiting on is that bacon. So how fast did that come together? Now, you could get this all ready for a party and at this point just wrap it and serve it later. If I was gonna serve it a lot later, I would go ahead and leave the almonds and the pepitas until right before serving, but I'm gonna eat this, so I just put it right in. All right, at this point, we're just waiting on that bacon and we are done chopping. This has almost all of our ingredients in it. As you can see, that's a beautiful little salad right there, and with just bacon. And now, while we're waiting for that bacon to finish, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make this awesome dressing that tops the salad. It takes it over the top. Our bacon is finished in the oven, and while it cools, we're gonna go ahead and make this dressing. Now, I've already put a half a cup of avocado mayo and a half a cup of buttermilk in here. So essentially, we're gonna start off with a base of ranch dressing. Now, you could technically use a bottle, but I'm telling you, it is worth it. So it's like so much better to make your own ranch, and it's so easy. All you need is mayonnaise, buttermilk, and ranch seasoning. Whether that's homemade or something you buy in the store, it is way better than the bottled stuff. But I mean, if you have to, you have to, right? So we've got essentially 1 cup between the mayonnaise and the buttermilk. There's 1 cup here, and the ratio for this dressing is 2 to 1. So I've got 1 cup of ranch that's gonna happen, and then I've got a half a cup of barbecue sauce. So we're gonna start out with just a little bit, like a, kind of like a, maybe a little bit more than a tablespoon, that's a teaspoon of ranch seasoning. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that together. And this will probably make extra more than what we need. So I'll just go ahead and leave this in a jar in the fridge. I make all my own dressings. And so I always have like a ton of dressings in the fridge, but I eat a lot of salads and vegetables, so. All right, let me see if that's enough ranch. Maybe just a smidge more. Maybe like half is what we put in there. I want to make sure we get that ranch flavor. All right, we'll try that. There it is. I'm telling you, for that amount of effort, making your own ranch is the way to go. All right, now we've got our half a cup of barbecue. And this is just whatever kind of barbecue, whether that's Sweet Baby Ray's, or this happens to be a barbecue sauce that we just started using that I really like. It's called Rib Rack. I really like that. Okay, and then we'll mix that together. Of course, Bucky's barbecue sauce is our absolute favorite. We love Bucky's, but that's a whole nother story for another day. All right, and that is exactly what you want to see. That is what that dressing. Now, that might be, as you can see, people don't automatically look at that and think, oh, that must be barbecue and ranch mixed together, but that's what it is. Delicious. Oh, yes, that is so good. All right, we're just gonna chop that bacon and then we'll put this all together and give it a taste. All right, friends, the only thing we have left to do is to decorate this salad with a little bit of bacon or a lot of bacon, however you feel a salad should be decorated. All right, I think that's good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a little bit of this salad for me, and then we'll give it a taste. We'll just add a little bit of that dressing. If I'm serving this to a crowd, I will go ahead and dress this salad. You don't want it overdressed, but you just want everything kind of lightly coated. All right, friends, our work here is done. The salad is complete. And just like that, we have the most beautiful slightly sweet, very crunchy salad. So let's give it a taste. I mean, who wouldn't love that? Am I right? Mmm, very crunchy. Mmm, I'm telling you, that is like crunchy, and it's got a good texture from all the couple different greens that we have. It's got the nuts and the seeds, and then this pop of sweetness from the cranberries and the creamy cheese and the slightly sweet barbecue dressing. I mean, hey, you're welcome. Friends, that's a great salad. I mean, what else can you say about it? If you like this recipe, please continue to share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And we'll be back soon. Don't forget to check the description box because the full recipe is below. Have a great day.